Hello everyone, my name is Shimon Rybchak and I'm 17 years old React Native developer at Callstack. And today we are on a great event. We are on React Native EU 2023 that is happening in Wrocław. I'm very happy to be here. And today with me is Cedric. Could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. My name is Cedric van Putten. I work at Expo in the dev tooling team. I'm basically a software consultant working on a lot of things in Expo, including Snack, VS Code, debugging, workflows like Expo GitHub Actions, all the way to SDK work, to backend work.
Great. Is it your first time at React Native EU?
It actually is. Yeah, I'm a bit ashamed by that, but it's my first time after like COVID. I could visit here and experience the whole.
And what are your impressions so far? Is it okay?
It's a huge one. It's massive. Like in the work in React Native, I talk a lot online. I work in open source world, and I can finally see like most of the people that I only met online in real person, and that's always fun.
Yeah, these people are creating React Native.
Yes,
creating all these great libraries that we all use, and yeah. What have you enjoyed so far? Maybe what the talk you are liking the most, or?
I mean, the keynote part about debugging is my favorite, since we work with Meta to make that happen. So I would say that's my favorite until now.
Okay, we'll talk about debugging later. What's your role at Expo specifically? What are you said like the tools are you working, but what are the right now you are working on? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so originally I joined Expo as a customer success engineer. So I talked a lot with partners, started to learn pretty much everything what the Expo ecosystem is. And then I moved on to become a software engineer, mostly on the dev tooling team. So the Expo CLI, like I said, the VS Code, Expo Action, pretty much anything that is not necessarily native related. That's what I might be working on.
All right. And what are your plans for the VS Code extension? Because you announced it back then in May on app.js, and what are your plans for that?
It already exists for a couple of years, and it originally came out of frustration on my end that I wanted to configure the app.json without having the docs open all the time, and I had no idea what all those properties were. Mm-hmm. So I found a way to like attach that in an extension and make it work. And after that, I think it just grew over time with debugging support, with like other Expo configuration files support, like Expo modules configuration, all the way to EAS metadata. So it just grew over time.
Yeah, it's great. I tried it and it's working really, really great. I and some folks from Meta, Callstack, and all partners companies are attending to the debugging working group. We are meeting monthly, and it's the sessions that is hosted by Alex, who is one of the member of the React Native developer experience team, and it's about debugging. And you are also, as you said, into debugging. And what are the plans in debugging space in the React Native that will come in the next versions of Expo and React Native?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny how we internally at Expo, mostly Kudo Chen, I have to mention that. He mostly started, and I just support him as much as I can. But we at Expo and Meta independently started working on the same thing with the same goal in mind. After we started and talking, we just worked together to figure out what the best end goal will be, because Flipper wasn't just a great option for React Native. I mean, it might be for other things, but not React Native.
It's not perfect.
Exactly.
You'll know.
Exactly. So there has to be a debugging way for React Native itself, because you can write awesome apps with React Native, but if you cannot debug, then that's a bad experience at all. So yeah, we just work together. We work in the development group with partners, and we have some ideas about extending things like adding plugins for Apollo GraphQL debugging. But we also want to do it in a way that matches the vision of Meta, and that's why we're a bit hesitant in going all the way directly to the Chrome DevTools right now. Mm-hmm. So we're experimenting with other things to at least figure out the other part and then later converge it into one tool to rule them all.
That would be great.
That's
very great. And when we can test it out in our React Native apps?
So if you use Expo, you can already test it out. It's still like janky in some areas where the Hermes itself has some issues that are being worked on right now. I mean, that's also why we launched it, to gather user feedback and to help Meta make it more robust, more stable. But you can already use it with Expo. You can already use it with React Native as well, but you have to set it up manually. The docs tells you how, like the React Native.dev docs. And then in the next version, 73, it will be enabled as a one-click debugging as
from dev menu. Yeah, it's a great experience, really great.
Yep.
And yeah, I can't wait to try it. My last question is, what's the feeling to work at Expo, to ship great things, like improve developer experience and ship these all great things that we all use?
It's super fun. Like, before I joined Expo, I was using Expo a lot, and I was already writing tools for our team to use Expo better. And actually being able to incorporate that right away into Expo and thinking of workflows that users, or thinking of issues in workflows that users run into, and then solving it for them and seeing their response is super fun. And then like the Expo team itself is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I met few of the members of Expo team, and your guys are doing a really great job.
Thanks.
And yeah, so yeah, that's it. Thanks you for listening. Today with me was Cedric, and yeah, maybe you will announce some things on React Native 2024 that will be for sure taking place in Wrocław. Can't wait for that. Bye.
If you liked what you've just heard, check out more of the conference content. Follow us on social media, subscribe to our newsletter, and see you at React Native EU 2024.